Welcome to Warehouse Women, a podcast where we talk about commercial real estate, building businesses, and passive income, but most importantly, turning barriers into strengths. I want to dive into a couple of the things that I was reading in your book that I loved and I want to hear more about. In the beginning, you mentioned 4 stages of delegation. Can you tell us a little bit more about that? How you developed that and kind of what your experience around it was.
Well, at first I was thinking there's either DIY or delegating. And then I was thinking, it takes people a long time, including myself. I wasn't ever a huge DIYer. I guess because I like pointing the finger rather than doing it. Do this, do that. But when you first start, everybody does a DIY. The first project that I did for myself was, I hired it, but it was still sort of a DIY for our family, as we did a room addition. And then from there, building spec houses and all that kind of stuff. But you start at that level because that's what you know. And then you begin to think about, gee, could I grow a little bit more? Maybe I could hire one subcontractor. The important ones are the electrician and plumber. And then you start to hire teams. And then at the 4th level, you're more confident as you go through these different levels, and you can actually systematize your whole program and say, okay, I want these systems in place. And no matter what the project is, I can figure out budget. I can figure out what the ARV, or the after renovation value is, or the after value add value is. And I can do these kinds of things that will give me a system every single time. And I think DIY is excellent place to start. It gets you in the dirt of things. It gets you right in, your hands dirty, lifting some tools. I quickly learned, though, that's not where I like to be.
Okay. So tell me more about where you're going. We just heard where you don't like to be, but tell me, what's your vision for yourself and where do you see yourself going?
Oh, thanks, Mahek. That's a good question. We're always reevaluating. I have a bad day and I want to quit, right? Just like everybody. And then, on the good days, most of the days, here's my go forward. I want to have 30 million under management, under property management. That's, we own. And I, of course, want probably close to 25,000 a month in cash flow that's passive, or 30, 30 would be 10%. So I have to ask myself, though, because I'm not a spring chicken like you, Mac, what's age appropriate and what do I want to do in between. So when I have a project finish, I like to, my husband and I do travel, and that's, everybody likes to travel because I feel like it's educating myself on other cultures and other ways of thinking. And that travel opens up creativity. And this is what I love so much, is what else is on the creativity platter. I really believe that every single one of us is put on this earth to create something from the gifts that we've been given. And so that creativity is you can't do it when you're under stress. You are more creative when you really have an opportunity to relax, and travel is a lot of that. So that, and also really figure out what I have pleasure in. I'm such a workhorse that it's a lot of work for me to think about what's exciting to me. I'll give you an example. One of the things I want to do is swim with dolphins. And so I think that'll happen in the next year or two. So I'm super excited about that. It's simple and small, but it's exciting.
That sounds phenomenal. That sounds really awesome. So how can people get involved and help support your journey, right? If you want 30 million under management, are you taking on investors? I know that you are really passionate about empowering women. Are you doing any ways that people can pay you to come speak at their events? how can we get people?
All of the above, actually, all of the above. You know, I do enjoy speaking, so, and I love getting others inspired and motivated to act on what they think they know. I love that, and of course, supporting me by buying my book. That would be awesome. I would love your feedback. It's at Woman Builder Dawn on Instagram. I would love to hear from you. I do look for partnerships. I'm very selective. So, because partnerships are like a small marriage or a short marriage, and you have to be very careful with who you select. So I would like to find people, some women or men, it doesn't matter, but people with the same values. And the same values would be, what are you doing with this property, and seeing the same vision for the property. And I tend to stick in San Diego and California, but I'm open to other places if the property warrants that.
Okay, awesome. Well, thank you so much for coming on today's podcast. We are very honored to have you and so excited for people to read your book.
Thank you, Mahek. And you are fantastic as a connector. You connect so many people in this world. And it's just an honor to be on your podcast, because I know you're just like taking off like a rocket ship. You're really an amazing person, and I'm so grateful to be on.
Thank you so much.
If you enjoyed this episode, please share it with a friend, and I'll see you next week.